Next is recently I've been coming over to a friend's house who is 1 year younger than me to use his gym equipment. Whenever we'd talk about non-school work-related things, he would not stop talking about how he wants to get huge muscles and be the biggest guy in school to attract all the girls.
Nice.
I tried to get him to be not obsessed over this, but he is very persistent with his mindset. What's worse is that he has not had any previous relationships or even friendships with a girl in his life and refuses to come with me whenever I provide him with an opportunity to interact with one of my female friends. I really want to help him out. What can I do to change his mind?
I have great news, which is once this guy puts on all the muscle, he will realize that it didn't do anything and will be much more receptive, I think, to other alternatives.
Yeah.
This was me. Put on 40 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
That's so much because I was really convinced it was going to make a huge difference. And it was honestly kind of helpful. And then I realized that it still wasn't.
The most helpful thing, two things happened that year. You also went to college.
Yeah, I assume this person is not 28. I have a friend 1 year younger than me. You think this is a 28-year-old describing a 27-year-old?
No. Well, no, I'm saying that was your freshman year of college. It wasn't your sophomore year of college.
It was between freshman and sophomore year.
Oh, really?
I started college at 180 and I walked in my sophomore year at 220.
Got it. So just tell him to keep lifting.
He's not wrong. Depending on his age, it's going to help to be muscular and shredded. And the second thing is life will bear out. If he is wrong, instead of you trying to convince him that he's wrong, the world will show him he's wrong. And I think at that point you can find him in a moment where he's confused and go, hey, I know you thought muscle was the answer. I think there's other things you can do. And then you can do whatever you think would be helpful to him. Take him out with your friends, show him some YouTube videos.
Yeah. And just to be clear, because we've talked in the past, we've been like, all the stuff that we thought was worth what, like the muscles, this is just so much less. And that is stands. The most important thing is not muscles, not even close.
Two things are true. My sophomore year when I was 220, there were guys who were way more successful with women that didn't have muscle because they were more charismatic. Mm-hmm. And also me, with the same level of charisma that I had at 18, was benefited actually by being a gym rat for a year and putting on 40 pounds of muscle. So both those things can be true.
Mm-hmm. And what should you say to him? I mean, I would just, he talks about getting girls. He says, I don't know. First off, I would release yourself from the need to change his mind and instead just ask, be like, are you sure that you want to wait 6 months before getting all the girls? Because Russell Brand was Shagger of the Year 3 years running, and he's not even yoga fit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I could run down the list of people, and I'm sure there's people in your school. Like,
I'm sure there's people you know. I'm sure you look at people, you go, I don't understand.
Yes. You could ask him, be the only way. And you could say, look, I don't know how close you guys are, if you're comfortable with this, but what I would say is if the topic were broached is, it sounds like, and this is okay, that you're just very nervous, and this is a way to put off potentially getting rejected 6 months, which is it's a fine strategy. If you could just say, hey, I'm not even going to try until I'm yoked or whatever. And that's fine. Maybe good luck. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think you can't force people to change. Also, unsolicited advice almost never goes well.
Just how's it going for you?
You can just go on the record.
Yeah.
You can just be like, hey, I don't think this is going to work. If it does, power to you.
Yeah.
When it doesn't work, I'd love to talk to you about other things that are probably more effective. And just plant that seed. That's another option. Depends how close you guys are.
I have a question, because I feel like I've done the going on the record thing. That's always been my go-to. It's just like, I just want to raise my hand as having said this is not going to work. Nobody ever comes back and asks. So in terms of practicality, like I do that for my own.
Well, for
my own peace of mind.
I mean, I don't want to. The best thing that has ever gotten people to follow my advice is living it.
Yeah.
So maybe the guy giving the advice about how to be really, really good with women isn't necessarily living a life that the other guy aspires to.
Yes, and he doesn't need to. What he's saying I've had a girlfriend, Well,
all I'm saying is you're right. Planting the seed has not worked. What has worked is living it.
Yeah.
People only came to me for advice when they were going, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, how are you so successful at blank?
That true.
Was the only, so like fitness advice, no one asked me until I was in good shape. Advice with women, no one asked me until I was having results that they admired. Business advice, no one asked me until I had a business that they wished they had. Mm-hmm. So like in terms of practicality, going on the record doesn't work. What works? Having the results yourself is the most effective thing that I've ever seen in terms of having people want your advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have to be, I think, and this is totally fine. They don't. In order for people to ask you advice, you can't just have good results in that area. You need to have phenomenal results in that area. Like if you are more fit than your friend by some margin, and you're at
5%,
or 15%. You know what I mean? He just might not care. And if you are friendly with girls but aren't the stud that he desires to be, even if that's not your goal, he's just not likely to ask for advice. Like if your goal is I have a girlfriend and I like her and I want the same for him, may not be his goal, and he may not care to get your advice on that. But yeah, what I would just wish if he watches this, what I would say is like, assuming that women are a top priority, do both, man. You only need an hour a day at max in the gym, and if you find that that you still have to put it off, then what you're going to find is they will not just flock to you because of the muscles. Like the Conor Murphy myth is a myth. Conor Murphy is the guy, he's now doing some different stuff, but he was super muscular. My brother was at a party with him. I've been around. Nobody flocks to him until the camera comes out. Ever. Doesn't matter how yoked you are. What the women were flocking to was the camera, and they liked his muscles, but
he's also extremely confident when the camera comes out.
Yes.
He's not scared to ask questions that most people wouldn't ask, or to do pranks that most people wouldn't have the confidence to do. So it's like, yeah, he's got the muscles, he has a cameraman, and he's very confident. It's not just sitting there looking like him that necessarily. Now, I mean, someone you'll get someone if you look like Conor Murphy. Like that's definitely true.
You still have to converse in some point.
Yeah, you have to have a conversation.
Yeah. So to do that now, to get that out of the way, to deal with the butterflies and the nervousness and you could do them in parallel, and I'd highly recommend it, because you'll at the very least need that piece. Nobody's gonna come banging down your door just because of muscles, I'm sorry to say.